Yes, everybody, welcome back to Football United TV. This is La Ligue des Champions, where we talk all things Champions League. I'm here with Anthony today. We was going to be here with Brush. Was going to start at 6 p.m, but I just couldn't in the end. So apologies, Brush, if you are watching at some point. We definitely want to get you back on for the first leg of the round 16. But first of all, everybody, you know what's coming right now? It's that special intro. Oh, hello. Yes, welcome back to La Ligue des Champions. I'm joined by that gooner that you all know, Anthony Herbert. How you doing, mate?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad. I've had a good day today, and it makes a difference being on the other, on our show, but on a different side. I'm actually on the panel. I'm not a host, so it's good.
Yes, you're a special invitee, and thank you so much for joining us, Anthony.
That's okay.
Good. I'm glad to hear you've had a good day as well, mate. Why is that? By
Oh well, I've just gone out. I've had work, but working hard. Last day's Wednesday, so that's the day of our Christmas show. So and then you got the rest of from there. Got the rest of the Christmas and obviously the New Year off. I think I'm back in either on the 3rd or the 4th of January. So but
nice.
yeah, so I got a nice long break.
Yeah, same here, mate. Really nice long break, and we've got a break without shows as well, haven't we? Which is quite nice because we don't have to do shows over the holidays. That's time to spend with your family and drink as much as possible and eat as much as possible, of course. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to take that away from you or Marley. So that's a good boss, isn't it, eh?
That is, yeah. Take it away from Marty, but don't take it from me.
Well, let's roll on into it, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Smash the like, share, subscribe if you are new to the channel. Thank you so much for helping us out. And before we start, of course, I've got to let everybody know about Galasso Kits. We are in partnership with Galasso Kits. Brilliant shirts from all over the world, retro and brand new as well. They don't have every single shirt. And, of course, you have to get in there as quickly as you can. There you got Colombia 2022-23 away shirt, Lens home shirt, Fenerbahce, Rangers alternate shirt from 22-23, Newcastle. This is just a few, and obviously you can go on the left-hand side here. You can pick a continent, Oceania. Look, New Zealand are here. There's nothing there. Brilliant. Okay. Don't buy a New Zealand shirt then, okay, everybody. You got Canada, Guatemala. Look, absolutely everything on there if you wanted to get it. Puerto Rico, even Montserrat. Yeah, see, there you go. Look, random, mate. Anything. Look, Africa. Look, Namibia. Look. So go check it out, and if you check out one of the previous Vita shows, there is a special promo in there, and I think you'll get around 15 to 20% off of every purchase. So go do that if you can. There's still enough time to get it before Christmas. There is worldwide shipping as well. So yeah, everybody go check it out. Right, Marley, let's get straight into it then. What we're pretty much going to do is we're going to go through the groups.
So I'm looking over my shoulder. You actually said, right, come on then, Marley, let's go. I'm looking for Marley.
He's watching Fluminense, isn't he, in the World Club Cup, isn't he, at the moment? That's what he's doing. But what we'll do, Anthony, is we'll look through the groups first.
Okay.
Let's see what you thought of like the final positions. Let's start with Group A. Of course, my team rock bottom there. Look at that. Loss, win, loss, draw, loss. Bayern Munich, mate, only drew one game, 16 points as well. Brilliant from them. What did you make from this group, mate? It was strange to see Copenhagen get through. We will discuss, of course, who Copenhagen and Bayern Munich got in the round 16. But first off, mate, what did you think of this group finishing off the way it did?
Well, to be honest with you, the team at the top of the group, that's, in all fairness, Matt, that's not a surprise, is it? You know, Bayern Munich. I mean, the players they've got, the likes of Harry Kane and that, doing really well. I mean, it says there, look at the wins they've got there in their group competition, and obviously the points. I'm very surprised with the team you support, Man United. I'm very surprised. I thought they would have finished at least where Copenhagen was, and unfortunately, it wasn't to be. I don't know what's going on there with Man United. I mean, they're struggling this season, aren't they? They're really trying to find that it's hard to find form. We touched on it on yesterday's show as well, didn't we? You know, obviously about Manchester United, and it's pretty shame. It's a shame, really, because even though, as you know, I'm an Arsenal fan, my team is in the Champions League, first time in a long time, but it don't make no difference what English team it goes through. You still want them to do well as as the games go on. So, you know, because at the end of the day, they're representing sort of our country. You know, you want the English team to do well. But yeah, I'm really shocked with Man United. Copenhagen, that's obviously, as you know, that's a shocker. You've just touched on that yourself as well. And Galatasaray, I mean, what a superb game it was. You and Galatasaray going back 2 weeks ago. You know, that 3-3 thriller. So, you know, that was really good, that game. Really enjoyed that one. But yeah, I mean, I'm sorry that Manchester United is out at this stage, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you? Well, Bayern Munich as well, having Harry Kane, Anthony, in their side. I think he scored over 20 goals now for the Bundesliga club. What are you thinking of his impact at Bayern Munich as well? Because I guess in the last few years they haven't really had the teams to be able to compete in the latter stages of the Champions League. Do you think like maybe this time they'll get a bit further and they could potentially go on to win it? Good team at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's proved it. You know, this obviously the games they've played, the games they've won. I'm not being funny. They filled out a reasonably strong side against you lot, against Man United when they got when they won 1-0. I was expecting it to be I was expecting it to be a right. You know, I was thinking it was going to be like 3 or 4-0 to Bayern, but obviously it wasn't. But yeah, I mean, with them having Harry Kane, obviously that's the firepower that they needed up front now, because obviously we all know with the top teams they always lose like the odd star striker here and there. And what replacement they got for Harry Kane? I mean, you've touched on it. He's doing really well in the league. What we got to remember is obviously there is a big difference between the German league and the English league, the Premier League. That is, Premier League's the fastest league in the world. But I mean, yeah, I mean, no problems with Harry Kane at all and what he's achieving. Won't surprise me if they get definitely semis or maybe a final, Brian, in the Champions League this season.
Okay, yeah, yeah, good shout there. And Galatasaray, of course, making Europa League and Man United not. That's a strange one as well, right?
Yeah,
The fact that Man United didn't even make Europa League and Galatasaray are keeping in Europe and of course Copenhagen for probably quite some time, reaching the latter stages, very impressive. But yeah, Galatasaray, I mean, would you expected them to have beaten Copenhagen on the last game? It was good from Copenhagen. Like they had to do a job and they did it.
yeah, they did. I didn't expect them. Well, I did expect Galatasaray to beat Copenhagen. To be honest with you, you know, as you compare the two players up, you look at the teams. You know, if you can look at the players on paper, you pick Galatasaray all day long, and it's like what we touched on. Your game, that 3-3 thriller with Galatasaray as well. So I think that most probably would have edged it towards them. But I mean, it's like what I said. Copenhagen, they showed up. They've done a job well done. And I mean, fair play to them. You've got to give them credit. I know it's a bit of a shock with them finishing second, but that's the problem, is Matt. You know, these teams that comes into the Champions League, these underdogs are really doing well at the minute. You know, I mean, they're obviously going from the group stages, going into the next round. As we go on, you'll see this. But yeah, I mean, fair shout to Copenhagen. I mean, I know the draw was earlier today. I can't remember who they've got, but we'll touch on that as well. But yeah, I mean, fair shout to them.
Yeah, don't shout that out yet. We will go into the round 16 draw right at the end. Right, moving on then, Anthony, to Group B, which is your team, mate. Right at there. Not the worst group in the Champions League, but still quite some difficult teams there with PSV, who are doing tremendous this season domestically and in Europe, and Sevilla. Look at that, losing all 4 of their last games. I wouldn't have expected Sevilla to be bottom of this group, mate. They're not such a bad team. They've won so many Europa Leagues, but they don't seem to do very well in the Champions League. And usually they really like to get third place so they can get into Europa, but not this time. What are you making of the group, mate, from an Arsenal perspective as well? It was good for you, wasn't it? 13 points, only losing 1 and drawing 1.
Well, yeah, it was. It was. I mean, to be honest with you, you look at that. I mean, in all fairness, I mean, it was a reasonably hard group. I mean, I'm not saying it was the hardest, but it was. You know, it's. But when you look at those teams in there, it's sort of hard enough. You know, because we all know what Arsenal are like. We've grown up watching the PSVs and the Sevillas. You know, that sort of thing, and obviously Lons as well. You know, so there is a very good. That is a very good. Well, table. You know, I mean. With Arsenal, what they've done and what we've achieved in it, I mean, fair play to them. We've gone into the next round. PSV, yeah, I can. That was the top 2 that I was picking as well, was Arsenal and PSV to go through. I was expecting, like, because you said it as well, you touched on it with Sevilla. You know, they normally crash out of this, get third place, and then they go dip down into Europa League, and then they go on and win it.
Right.
I mean, one manager that used to do that with them, and we know him. He's the manager of Aston Villa, Unai Emery. He was one of those managers that done that. But yeah, I mean, Lons. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, fair shake to them going into the dipping down and going into the Europa League. I think on that first game they really tested us, because that was that was the game we lost 2-1. I mean, we had that mistake from Brea. Passed out to Tomiyasu, and they exploited that, and they went on and scored the winning goal and beat us obviously 2-1 in that game. But yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised the way how it ended. You know, I mean, PSV, you know, they're a very good team. They didn't show it against us. In all fairness, I mean, I know we drew 1-1, but Arteta, he changed that team around a little bit, because obviously we were resting the our good players for the league match, obviously what we won against Brighton. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with it. Minus 16, I'm happy.
Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty sure you are happy.
Yeah.
Sevilla, look, I mean, they didn't even get a win in the group out of 6 games, and they lost 4 of them and drew
Yeah.
2. Not acceptable at all for Sevilla. I wonder what's happening with their manager, etc., since last week, and whether that's a huge disappointment or they're trying to rebuild something new there. If anybody in the chat does know a bit more about Sevilla than I do, then please put it in the chats. Okay, then, mate. Moving on to the next one, then. Group C, Real Madrid, top in the group with Napoli going through, Braga getting the Europa League spot, and unfortunate for Union Berlin, one of their first times in the Champions League. And they didn't do very well at all, only getting 2 points. What did you make of this group, mate? Real Madrid obviously flying through, played 6, won 6, lost none, drawn none, and only letting in 7 goals, right? And scoring 16. So it's not too bad at all, is it?
Yeah, no, it's not too bad. I mean,
well, they won every game.
yeah. I mean, Real Madrid topping that league there, you know, absolutely fantastic. That was blatantly obvious. Going from Napoli, I think that was the 2 teams to pick, first and second spot. That's blatantly obvious in this group. I mean, there is good guys. Well, news for Napoli, the striker, is it Oshimada, who plays up front for them? He's now actually signed a contract with them, so he's actually now staying with Napoli.
Oh,
And so it was Fabrizio Romano come out and done it today, the video, saying if anybody wants him, it's basically he signed a contract where it's going to be a valuation of up to £150 million release clause to
yeah,
sign him.
I
So that's good on their behalf. But
don't
yeah,
think he's worth that.
no, but that's the video of what he's actually signed in, and that's it, done and dusted now. So there's going to be no talks about him. But yeah, I mean, going back to this, I mean, it's not surprising, finishing the bottom of this group. I mean, Braga, we've been used to Braga before. We've played them a few times in the Champions League underneath Arsene Wenger. And do you know what? They've really given us a game as well, Braga. I think, if I remember correctly, I think we actually drew with them in the group stages as well. They were that tough. They're one of those that turn up on the night where you don't expect it, and they'll really give it to you, like, sort of thing, But yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. Fair play to them, obviously getting third spot, and they got the Europa League to bounce back to. So
Well, it's
that's
lucky, isn't it? And I think probably it's more complimentary, isn't it? Europa League for Braga. They probably got a better chance of getting further afield in that competition than Champions League. It's very hard after round 16, isn't it?
yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the Group D. And bloody hell, surprised to see Real Sociedad topping the group. Inter Milan doing really well actually this season. They look like they could go on further in the stages, but Salzburg dropping out. I mean, that's expected. I mean, I'm looking at it, this group. I would have expected Inter Milan and Benfica to go through, and then Real Sociedad to get into Europa League. But fair play to Real Sociedad for topping the group, 1-3, drawn 3, and only letting in 2 goals. So that's very impressive. What do you make of this group, mate?
Well, it's like what you said. I mean, the two you said, top teams with obviously Inter Milan and Benfica. It would have been my two. Definitely would have been my two. But Real Sociedad, I mean, they're doing really well. I think it might have helped them getting one of our players in on loan, Kieran Tierney. I'm not being biased or anything like that, but since he's been there, he's played he's played every single game. Look, he's done really well for them. I think they listen to him on the pitch and obviously off the pitch as well in training. So I've been reading reports because he was one of my favorite players for Arsenal, obviously. So I like to keep some tabs on him, sort of thing. But yeah, I mean they've done really well. It's been unexpected, but I go back to what I said though, Matt. With these underdogs. They're really doing well, and it won't surprise me if you actually see one of these underdogs in the final with a top quality team. Sometimes it works that way, and they might go on and win it. And if they do, fair play to them. So I do like the underdogs to do well, because when you get teams like big teams winning it all the time, it sometimes gets a little bit boring. But yeah, going back to this stage, Inter Milan, yeah, I think they've done really well.
Reaching the final last year,
and
seem to be doing better this time round in their domestic league as well. So you never know, do you?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're doing really well in that domestic league. I think they're. God, what are they? I think are they second? I think they're second in the league. So
let's have a look.
I think they are. Well, the last time I checked, last time I looked, they were.
They are top of the group, top of the league. Sorry, yeah. I thought so. It's Napoli that are not doing so well at the moment. That obviously last year's winners are now fifth. And Lazio, who are doing good in the Champions League as well, they're 11th. So
they're 11th. Yeah, they're mid-table. Yeah, they've gone right down. They have.
All right. Well, let's move on to then Group E, then, mate. Atletico de Madrid, and of course we just talked about Lazio, who have made it through. Feyenoord getting the Europa League spot, and Celtic, of course. Celtic at the bottom there. I mean, they got 4 points, so good to see them at least win a game in the group stages and drawn 1, but still not really not good enough. Do you think is there anything that Celtic can do maybe next season? With under Brendan Rodgers, because clearly, like, they want to be able to at least make the latter stages, if not get into Europa League, and they can't seem to do that, mate. They're very far off it, aren't they? And Feyenoord don't really make as much money as Celtic does as a football club. So to see Feyenoord do much better than them, even though the Scottish League and Celtic make much more than Feyenoord do in the Eredivisie, what can Celtic do, mate, to just push up a notch?
Look, to be honest with you, I mean, with Celtic, the Scottish football, in all fairness, it reminds me of our Championship, is the equivalent to that. And, you know, they get players in for Celtic. Listen, they play really well, and then they sell them at a bonus buy. I mean, you what, 25 million, 30 million, you know, so it's obviously, you know, but these players that they do sign in for Celtic, they most probably cost in the region of something like £5 million, maybe 6 at a push. And then they play well and they sell them and they make money. And I mean, we've seen that before. Obviously, we had one of them with Kieran Tierney, Van Dijk, when he left Celtic and went to Southampton, didn't he? You know, so it is that. So they are producing good players. It's a shame, really, that they can't keep these players. But Brendan Rodgers, I feel that sometimes I feel players don't respect him half the time. I think they go cold with him, and 1 minute they're okay. I mean, you hear so many rumours and that coming out of Celtic. I sort of roughly keep up with Scottish football as well. But yeah, I'm not too sure if they didn't have a good result on the weekend. They lost on the weekend as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, that's it is inspired to that. But everybody blames they say, oh, well, why didn't Brendan get this player in? Why didn't Brendan get that player in? What everybody don't realise is the football manager is there to manage. He's not really necessarily wanting to get these players in. Is the owners. They sell these players to obviously get money, but they bring another player in cheaper to replace obviously the player they've just sold. So in all fairness, I don't think managers have much much say now with these players who, you know, the teams need managed, obviously, with the players they're bringing in. I don't really think they have much to say in it now. So that's the problem there. And I think that's what the problem is with Celtic. But Feyenoord, fair shout to them. They've gone into the Europa League. I mean, that's the most probably how you most probably would have imagined it, was Feyenoord going into Europa League. Lazio finishing second. Great team, Lazio. I mean, we can remember them from years ago. Obviously in Serie A, they were always a top four, top three, top 4 team. You know, obviously you got your Inter Milan's, AC Milan's, Juventus, and then it come down to then it was pretty much Lazio. So, you know, I mean, they haven't done too bad. Not good in the league, as we just mentioned, but I think they'll do well in the Champions League.
They got a great manager, Arne Slot for Feyenoord. Really good manager.
Yeah.
He's been looked at by a lot of clubs in the Premier League. I know Tottenham were kind of looking at him before they went for Ange Postecoglou, but I think he signed a new deal at what are we talking about? At Feyenoord. So
Feyenoord.
That's the reason why he didn't go, but he seems to be doing quite well. So Lazio, of course, like we just said, they're 11th in Serie A at the moment. They've managed to get through. It's been a while since I've seen Lazio do quite well, actually, in European competitions. I remember the days of Gaza. I don't know whether you do, when he was at Lazio.
Yeah, I can remember that. Yeah, sort of leaving Tottenham and going there.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember him. They were interviewing him, and he's got his hand on the cage. And did you see the tiger or the lion? It came up beside him, almost had his bloody hand off.
Yeah.
If he didn't move in time, he wouldn't have had a hand. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. What about Atletico de Madrid, then, mate? You know,
Atletico
they've had
Madrid.
a really good history, haven't they, in the Champions League? They've been making finals. They played Real Madrid, didn't they? It was unfortunate that year that Bale scored, and then Real Madrid went on to win it in extra time, didn't they?
Yeah.
So, what do you think, mate? You think Atletico Madrid got a good chance of going further, going past the round 16?
Yeah, I reckon they have. I mean, they've done it in this group stages. Don't get me wrong. I feel that, you know, this is a slightly easier group stages where you with both Feyenoord and Celtic, you play each team twice. That's what's that 3, 6, 9. That's 12 points there when you play those two teams twice and you beat them. So that's 12 points there. That takes that's going to take you either top or second place. With obviously with Lazio and Atletico Madrid to play like sort of thing, depending on what team you are at the top, the two top ones that is. But I think they'll go on. They go on to round 16. Who they've got in the round of 16, I don't know. But football's a funny game, and anything can happen within the 90 minutes. So, but yeah, I think they'll go on. I think they'll go on to I think if I had to tip them somewhere, I think quarters maybe stroke semis, but I can't see them getting any more than that.
Okay, cool, mate. Should we go on to the next group then?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting a message here, and it's like, God. Okay, let's move on to the next group, which is Group F. Dortmund, Paris, Milan, Newcastle, mate. Newcastle, unfortunately, get through. What are your thoughts on Newcastle's first time in the Champions League for so long, mate? Do you think they can go away with a bit of pride, or?
Well, they could go away with a bit of pride. It makes you think when they were in the Champions League years ago. I mean, let's remember it was Sir Bobby Robson that got them there. And when he was doing the in the group stages, they didn't do that great. They didn't do that well in the Champions League. But I didn't expect them to. I was so happy that where they finished last season. Obviously, they finished fourth going into the Champions League. Listen, they give their best. They give their all. I mean, obviously, it's a shame that they're not playing Europa League football on Thursday nights because obviously, I feel personally if they dip down to the Europa League. My instincts was they could have got to the final of that one in the Europa League, but yeah, I mean they're out of both competitions. It's good. It's most probably it makes sense in one way because that gives them more of a obviously to do in the league. They can do better in the league now, obviously, which obviously we're tipping them around about fifth in the Premier League, but whether they get that fifth or fourth place. I mean, obviously, I don't want to natter on too much about Premier League because this is Champions League. So yeah, I mean, fair play to them. You is been in gone sort of thing, but fair shout to them. I mean, the other teams there in that table it went off.
I keep losing the table. Sorry, Anthony. For some reason,
Right.
it keeps dying on me. I don't know what's going on with it. It's just like, nope, reject. All right, fine, fair play. Let me try and get it up again, mate. Sorry, that's what he said. Okay.
Well, I got an ear mat on my phone.
I got it. Oh, you got it anyway. Okay. I
Yeah.
just want to show it to everybody so everybody else can see it. That's all.
That's fine. Yeah.
Right, Group
So
F.
obviously, we're in Group F. Yeah, I mean AC Milan. I mean that's a surprising. I mean, obviously, finish on 8 points, playing 6, win 2, drawn 2, lost 2, and obviously, you look it up above them with PSG and then Dortmund as well. Because I mean, obviously, Dortmund's doing well in their leagues as well. In the German league, so they're really doing well. If I had to pick two teams to go through for that, I think Dortmund would have been one. Do you know what? I most probably would have liked to have Newcastle to gone through. I think that would have been my top two, actually. Obviously, again, being an English team, and wanted the English teams to do really well. But I mean, PSG, they didn't really seem a threat in their in that group stage, did they? In all fairness, I think. Against Newcastle. There was also Milan. I think that was Newcastle's first game in this group stage. I think it come from a 0-0 draw. So they picked up their first point. Newcastle, didn't they? They drew 0-0 in their first game. So, yeah. So, I mean, that's a very hard group for Newcastle. But, yeah, I mean, fair play to them. I mean, what they've tried to achieve in the Champions League. But go on. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me with Dortmund coming top of that league.
Yes, indeed. Okay. next group then, Group G, Man City going through, of course, Leipzig going through too, Young Boys out, and Cerveza out as well. What do you think Man City's chances of retaining the Champions League title this season?
I think it's slim. To be
Yeah?
honest with you, Matt, I think it's slim. They won't go on and win it again. Man City would not win the Champions League this season. If they do, I think they'll have to rely on the January transfer window. To win it. Personally, I feel there's. I feel that there are. Well, I'm not going to see better teams in there, but in all fairness, I feel that there are good teams in there. I mean, you've got to put Man City up there with the likes of Real Madrid. I think Barcelona has been. I think they've done well, but we'll most probably get onto them because they're in the next group. There's a few other teams as well. Dortmund, they're one as well. So they're reasonable. So, but yeah, I just don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna go back to back winners. Man City, in all fairness, I can't see it. But yeah, RB. I mean, to be honest with you, the top two. It doesn't surprise me in this league. I mean, that's probably the way I would have put it as well. With the top two finishing with Young Boys. Young Boys. The only time I seen Young Boys was when they played against you. I think that was last season, wasn't it? And they beat you in the Champions League, didn't they? I think that was my I think that was my first and only experience that when watching that team. To be honest with you, never really heard of them. So
they beat Real Madrid last season, I think it was. So
yeah. But yeah, okay. I mean, they've done well, gone into the Europa League, and that's it.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, Group H, last group, and then we're just going to run quickly through the round 16 and who we think is what we think the first leg's going to be. So Barcelona going through, mate. FC Porto as well. Shakhtar Donetsk of the Ukraine are out, unfortunately. Antwerp of Belgium are out too. What did you make of this group, mate? And how do you think? It's good to see, I guess, Barcelona making the round of 16 for quite some time, actually, isn't it?
Yeah. This is what I said with Barcelona. I mean, they haven't really got bad players there. I mean, I noticed that they had all that problems. They were getting rid of players and bringing in. There was all, players' wages and all that coming into consideration. But yeah, do you know what? It doesn't surprise me again. I most probably would have tipped Barcelona and Porto finishing top of this one. Shakhtar Donetsk, I think they're not a bad team as well. We've had experience playing against them. I think they actually beat Arsenal once in the group competition in the group stages. We actually lost to them. They were our main threat. Obviously, time under Arsene Wenger. But yeah, I mean, fair play to them. I mean, that's in Group H. That would have been my top two as a finish, definitely.
Okay, so that's it. Just wanted to quickly run through the group stages. Hopefully, this bloody internet will sort itself out so I can see who's in the round 16. It's probably not going to do it though, is it? Oh God, honestly. Actually isn't going to do it, mate. Oh my God. Right, okay. I don't know what's going on with the internet today, but it's not coming up for me at all. Let me see if I can try and. I think it's the UEFA site. It's just so rubbish today. What's going on?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay, I might be able to share this. Hopefully this will work. Okay. Right. So what I'm going to do, Anthony, is I'm just going to quickly run downstairs. What I want you to do is go through what you think is going to happen in these games. If I can just share it. Hopefully I can. Come on. There we go. This is good. All right, we'll start off with Arsenal, mate.
Right. Start off with Arsenal. I haven't seen it, but oh, there it is.
There it is. Whenever it comes up and decides to come up. Okay. Is it there yet?
Yes, I can see it. Is FC Porto.
That's not. I don't know what's going on here. I just want the bloody. Why is it not? Oh,
There you got it. There you go. Could you blow that up bigger, Matt?
I'm trying, but it's only coming up with Porto. What? Why is it coming up with? Okay, I don't want that, do I? I just want. All right, gonna have to do it like this, mate. I think. Yeah. All right. Okay. Okay, that will have to do then, because they're not allowing me to. Or matches. Will it come up in matches? Maybe. Bloody hell. Bloody hellfire! This is. No. What's it doing? Like, come on, round 16, view draw details, please. I usually use this, it's usually all right, but it's not been, it's just coming up with that again. Okay, so there's the round 16. Start off then, mate. What do you think is going to happen in the first game, mate? FC Porto and Arsenal.
FC Porto and Arsenal, obviously, we've drawn them. Arsenal away. Do you know what? I feel that obviously, when you're away, you want to get that. I don't know if they do the away goals advantage anymore, don't they? I'm not too sure, but getting a goal away, that's basically what you want to do. I favour us against Porto. I really do. And that's not just over this leg; that's over the both legs. I really feel that Arsenal I really do well. I've tipped my team Arsenal to go into the quarterfinals, which I believe that they will do. So, but regarding that, I think on the do you know what? If I go on a score over 2 legs, I can see Arsenal winning that. I think it'd be 4-2 on aggregate on both legs. I reckon Arsenal take it most probably a 1-0 win in the first round and maybe a 3-1 a 3-2 win in the second, obviously making the score 4-2. So yeah, that's what I reckon. Obviously, with the what else is it we got on here? If I go down to my if I tell you what, if I work it from my phone, folks, what I'm going to do, you've got Copenhagen against Man City. I think Man City, I think you are very lucky. I think you're spawny, and I can't believe it that you've been drawn Copenhagen. It seems like a fix here, but yeah, I feel that you got a lucky draw. I know you're going to win. Man City obviously is going to win against Copenhagen. But, you're so lucky, Spawny. You've got the pick, of what you wanted. But I just hope Copenhagen beats you. So just for that alone. But that's regarding that one. What else have we got on here? RB did well against Real Madrid. Yeah, I think Real Madrid. I think they'll win it over the two legs.
Real Madrid?
Yeah.
Why do you look at Leipzig versus Madrid?
Madrid, yeah. I've gone for the Arsenal game. What I've thought about the Arsenal game. And also I just finished the Copenhagen and Man City game. I couldn't see what it is on there because it's so small on the screen, but I've been going by my phone. Who's got what?
Yeah, because it won't. The Champions League, like anybody who's like using the Champions League actual UEFA.com, it's so crap.
Yeah,
so I'm clicking on that and it just comes up with Porto.
Yeah,
I don't want to know about Porto. I want to know about the game.
I've gone straight onto. In all fairness, Matt, I've gone straight onto Google with this.
Right, head to head with Arsenal. There we go. Oh, team comparisons. That's better.
Team comparison. Yeah, I've actually tipped Arsenal to go through on over 2 games, 4-2 on aggregate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
all right.
I think.
So what do you think? If we run through it quickly, you tell us what you think the results are going to be, and I'll read them out.
Okay.
Right, of the first leg. So start off, FC Porto versus Arsenal. What do you think the first leg result's going to be?
I'm going to go 3-2 Arsenal.
3-2 Arsenal away, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we got Paris Saint-Germain versus Real Sociedad. Who do you think's going to win?
Paris. Do you know what? I'm going to take that as a draw. I'm going to go 1-1 draw.
Okay, cool. PSV versus Dortmund.
PSV versus Dortmund. I got a favourite Dortmund there. I'll most probably go 2-0 Dortmund in the first leg.
Copenhagen versus Man City.
Cool, bloody hell. 3-0 Man City.
Oh, okay. Napoli versus Barcelona.
God, this is hard. Do you know what? I'm going to go for... I'm going to go for a Barcelona win on here. I think they're just going to edge this one. So I'm going to go 2-1 Barca.
Okay. Inter Milan versus Atletico Madrid.
1-0.
1-0. Lazio versus Bayern Munich.
Lazio versus Bayern Munich. Oh, God, blame me. I'm going to go Bayern Munich. I mean, the way they're playing with Harry Kane, I'll most probably go 3-1 Bayern Munich.
Okay. What about Leipzig and Real Madrid?
Leipzig and Real Madrid. I'll most probably go... I'll go 2-1 Real Madrid.
Okay, cool. I'm going to go Porto win 2-0 against Arsenal for the first leg. Paris Saint-Germain win 3-1 against Real Sociedad. PSV lose 0-2 to Dortmund. Copenhagen, I'm going to put a funny one out there. Draw with Man City, 1-0 or something really strange. I don't know. For some reason I got a strange one for that.
Yeah.
Napoli and Barcelona, I think Barcelona draw with Napoli. Inter Milan and Atletico Madrid, I think Inter Milan win that one. I'd say 2-0. Lazio and Bayern Munich, I reckon. Did you see that go? Lazio and Bayern Munich, I reckon, will be.
I mean, Lazio are 11th in the.
Still there, Anthony?
Yeah, I'm still there. Yeah, they're 11th, aren't they, Lazio? So they're not doing really well.
Yeah, I reckon Bayern Munich to win that. I'd say 2-1 or something.
Yes,
and Real Madrid to beat Leipzig, I think, away as well. Something like a 3-1 or 3-0.
No, that's fair enough. Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's pretty much it, Anthony. We just wanted to really run through it really quickly. Apologies that the show didn't go so great. I had to meet someone at 6, and then they ended up like calling me at 5:30. So I've had to like just go and quickly meet them and say, look, it's got to be later. So let's read out some comments, everybody. True Gooner says, big up, lads. You happy with Porto, Anthony? Ain't underestimating them because of Sporting last season?
Oh, I don't know. I'm happy. It is what it is. You can only play what's in front of you. I would have liked the Man City draw, Copenhagen. I think we all wanted that draw, but obviously Man City spooned that. So, but yeah, I'm happy. I'm positive. I think we'll win and we'll go on to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, agreed. Static. Hey, Matt and Anthony. Big up, mate. And he says, Matt, the other reason, I didn't say a reason, by the way. I just said that he stayed with Feyenoord. I didn't say what reason it was, but the reason was Slot wanted to actually stay and continue the work he's already done for Feyenoord, which is also why he rejected Tottenham. I think he also rejected Tottenham because, to be fair, looking at the situation with Tottenham, with Harry Kane leaving, etc., he's at, like you said, he's at a better club to progress, isn't he? I think he will make his way to the Premier League, and I think actually, if he looks at it, that was probably, to be fair, a kind of bad move because I think he would have done all right at at Spurs. I think he is similar to Ange Postecoglou. He gets the best out of players. But yeah, we'll see him. I think eventually, we'll see him in the Premier League. But I do agree with you, Static, that if he's been doing great work there at Feyenoord, stay at least another season. Build yourself as a character, and hopefully someone big enough one day will pull him in. 4 likes and subscribe. Yes, thank you everybody for subscribing and joining us today. It was literally a quick one before the end of the season as well, because this show won't pretty much come on again until February. So it's quite a long time out. So I want to say thank you, Anthony, for joining us. A little bit sloppy on my behalf, but you don't worry though. Wait till the Christmas show. We got that one sorted out.
Oh, we got that one sorted out. Yeah, we got to sort that one out. And but yeah, I mean, anytime, Matt, if you want me to come on and do the Champions League, if you're short for a guest or whatever, or if you want me on there with another guest, I'll quite happy come on.
Brilliant. Thank you, mate. Can you please let everybody know where they can find you, Anthony, apart from here, of course?
Yes, you can find me on my my socials, basically on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at my name at Anthony Herbert. Obviously, I'll have to give it a shout out. You can find me here on Football United TV, where I host Gunners for More Corners, and obviously the Football Premier League weekend show. So that's that one done. And listen, if you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel, just make sure you do. And I notice a lot of people say, press that notification bell. So every time we go live, you get a reminder that we're going to go live, and that we are. So, that'd be a cool thing to do as well.
Cheers, Anthony. Thank you for coming on as well, mate. And like I say, it was just a very quick stream. And unfortunately, when I'm streaming and people were trying to ring me and saying, "Where are you? I'm here now." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm live. I'm live on a show. I can't really just leave." So yeah, unfortunate for that. But the Premier League weekend show is obviously back after
we're back after New Year. I think we'll definitely be back after the week after the FA Cup, because I think FA Cup now, I think that's the first game in January, or the second game maybe. I know there's games around about 31st of December, but I'm not too sure if there's any on the 1st. But if there isn't any on the 1st, it's the FA Cup. That I think they're the first games kicking off for next year. So we'll be back the week after that one. Gunners for More Corners, it more likely will either be the same. It'll either be that week, the Thursday before, or if not, it could possibly be the Thursday before that, depending on if you can get any guests literally straight after the New Year sort of thing. You most probably could, but if anybody wants to come on the show, listen, just DM me, DM Matt, DM Marley, let me know, and then we'll locate you down on your socials, and we'll send you the link across. It's nice to get people, even on Gunners for More Corners. Majority is Arsenal fans, but I like to have a neutral fan on there as well, just to get another outside person's perspective, their view as well. So, if you don't have to be an Arsenal fan to come on that one.
No, exactly, mate.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it, everybody. Thank you for tuning in today with me and Anthony. Just quickly running through the groups, how they finished off, what we thought of the groups, and just a quick brief run of the round 16 draw. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you again on Wednesday, 9:00 p.m. Bring smoke, bring drink, bring anything you like to intoxicate your body at a time like Christmas. Yeah, why not? It's allowed, all right? It's after 9 p.m. It's after curfew. I've said to Mr. B as well, if you want to smoke, you're more than welcome. So it is going to be X-rated. If you don't really want to watch the explicit content, then do not tune in at 9 o'clock. But if you do, it should be a laugh. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to it, mate. We always have a laugh.
Did you say there's a quiz or something on there?
I've got some questions. Yeah, I've got about 30 questions.
Have you?
Yeah, so you'll have to write them down, and then we'll go through the answers afterwards so that everybody in the chat can
Oh, right, okay. Because what I've done, I mean, obviously, with questions, I thought, even though we like football, we follow football. There is quite a lot of football questions in there. But I thought I've got a sports trivia thing. So
Mm.
obviously, there's, I
Bring
think
that along, Anthony. We'll
I'll
be
bring
there
that
for a good
along.
hour and a half. So
Yeah. So if you're interested in your sport,
yeah, because there's no more question of sports, we might as well take over, mightn't we?
well, that's right. Yeah, I missed that program actually. Do you know what? I really do miss that question of sport.
The longest running sports quiz in the world.
Yeah, and what was the other one I used to watch on BBC One? They Think It's All Over with Nick Hancock. He used to be. That's another one.
Brilliant.
And Football Fantasy League with Skinner and Bedell. You
Yeah,
remember? Yeah,
yeah.
they were the three. They were the three ones that I used to love watching all the
Really
time.
good. Okay. The
They
old
were.
school days, Anthony. Don't get those anymore, mate.
No, it's not. No, 80s and 90s were fantastic.
You know, Jeff Stelling and all that, they're all gone, mate. They've got new people in. It's just
Yeah, I don't like the way our last ran now. Sky Sports News. They've
well,
copied.
he's on Talksport now, Jeff Stelling, isn't he?
He is, yeah. He's gone back to that now, and
Which I love. I listen to it every morning now. It's just like perfect. Him and Ali McCoy together is just bang on.
oh, bang on, yeah. I
Really
don't like the Sky Sports News anymore. I think they copied. Oh, what was it? They used to do the BT Sport, wasn't it? You had the
yeah.
Chris Sutton, Bobby Savage. They've copied that sort of line, like what they've done, instructed it from that to there. So it don't seem right to me.
I'm agreeing with that, mate. Right, everybody, we'll see you again on Wednesday. Like I said, bring your favourite alcohol beverage. It doesn't have to be alcohol, it can be soft drink, absolutely fine. But come and join the fun, 9:00 p.m. on Wednesday. And of course, we've got a special New Year's show on the 28th.
28th, it's I think
No,
that
29th. 29th.
29th, yeah.
Friday
But
the
it's
29th.
obviously, yeah, because you're over there, but that's 3 o'clock here.
3:00 UK time
Yeah,
and 12 p.m. Brazilian time.
yeah, that's right. It's 3 hours behind, don't you? Yeah, you are 3 hours behind, aren't
They
you now?
are, yeah, because they don't do the daylight savings situation. So
Yeah,
it's either 3 hours or 4 hours. So I think when it comes up to March and the clocks change, then it will
yeah.
be 4 hours. It doesn't really change with us. But yeah, I'll be in Brazil for that one, ladies and gentlemen. So like I said, thank you everybody that did tune in to this show today. It was a quick one. It was done without much preparation as well. I just wanted to quickly have a chat with Anthony and did have Brush coming on, but it was my fault. I had to do it at 5. I'm so busy this week, so I'm quite lucky I even got to do a show. But Anthony, I'll see you again Wednesday, mate. All right.
I'll see you Wednesday, Matt. And bye, everyone.
Yes. Bye, everybody. Take care. Arrivederci.